Welcome to this week's episode of 5. We're going to talk about 5 storytelling ideas for Indiana Jones RPGs. Let's jump into it. There are so many different RPGs based on different genres and series and movies. One of those is The Adventures of Indiana Jones. Launched by TSR in 1984 and then followed up by West End Games with The World of Indiana Jones in 1994. The Adventures of Indiana Jones RPG was set in the 1930s, the same time that the movies were portraying in their depictions. This RPG lets you choose one of 7 pre-generated characters who are also sidekicks of the famous archaeologist Indiana Jones. However, with the update in 1984 of supplements, character generation rules allowed you to create your own characters and expanded the gameplay greatly. While the original materials are really based around the activities of the first 2 Indiana Jones movies, both Raiders of the Lost Ark and the Temple of Doom, regenerated characters were basically Indiana Jones sidekicks that you could utilize in helping Indiana Jones acquire the artifacts that he was searching for, based in both of those movies. The expanded game rules and supplements allowing for further character generation opened up more opportunity for a more open storytelling style. However, it was never really opened up enough or given enough clout and respect by the gaming community to really morph into a more open RPG style, as we've seen in other franchises, specifically Dungeons and Dragons. However, if you're looking at a gaming night where perhaps not all of your players are able to show up or just want to change things up a little bit, I highly recommend checking it out. As a franchise, there's a fantastic wealth of information. People can identify with it, and by utilizing some of the music, you can really get in the spirit of the RPG in general. And if you're thinking about playing in the world of Indiana Jones, whether it's through the official RPG or in an adaptation that you're using different rule systems for, or even creating your own, here are 5 story ideas for The Adventures of Indiana Jones. Because the world really evolves around archaeological finds, and the story really delves into Nazis attempting to acquire occult goods, with Indiana Jones often pitted to stop them or retrieve those goods on behalf of the US government or other institutions in the US. Some well-known artifacts that Indiana Jones could possibly have to beat the Nazi to finding include searching for ink and gold to help pay for Hitler's army, the Aegis, which helped Perseus in slaying the Medusa, the Cadenets, which is definitely a find that is both mythological with religious roots, the Eye of Horus, allowing for further opportunity to continue life long after death, Aaron's Rod, or the Staff of Moses, which channeled God's power to help the Israelites escape slavery in Egypt and make it to the Promised Land. And finally, the very crown of thorns donned by Jesus. All 5 of these items could be central key elements that your players in the world of Indiana Jones will have to beat Nazis to retrieve, using hidden mysteries and facing archaeological discoveries that have been hidden for centuries, chasing down clues across the globe, and with mythological powers that would give the Nazis an edge in their world war and world domination. With power like that, it would have to be up to someone brave, intelligent, and unwavering in conviction for historical preservation of these types of relics. Someone just like Indiana Jones. That's our 5 story ideas. If you're planning to take a one-shot or explore the world of Indiana Jones, an old school game that, while never receiving too much traction, still has powerful opportunity for you to explore a new opportunity in role-playing games.